Protests are a big part of today's world, an avenue to express anger or frustration in order to seek change or accountability in matters politics, society, and the economy. In Kenya, the right to protest is entrenched in Kenya's constitution under Article 37, which states that every person has the right to peacefully and unarmed assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to the public authority. Well, while protests play an important role in allowing people voice their concerns and about injustices, they also come with challenges that may impact both mental and physical health. Our reporter Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi tells us more on tear gas terror report.
The recent surge of violence associated with the anti-government protest has raised concerns of the loud explosion from tear gas affecting a number of people. Recently, major cities in the country have been filled with a thick smoke from tear gas. Young protesters carrying placards and water bottles encountered tear gas smoke thrown to them by the police as they demonstrate in order to disperse them. My name is Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi. I am a journalist working with Hope Media in Kenya. I didn't cover the recent protest firsthand as I was assigned a different task in the newsroom. However, my colleagues Prince Mwangi and Sami Adika were actively reporting on what was happening on the ground, and here are the experiences.
We really tried going through. Later on, I got chest infection, campaigning through. There are a lot of tear gas that to intake during that time.
In the near future, one of the most important things as a journalist, and I would always make sure I have, is protective gears, from mask, from to headgears, and also just chest vest, making sure that I keep safe while updating Kenyans.
Psychologists say that loud bangs from exploding tear gas canisters used to disperse protesters are capable of inducing acute anxiety and varying levels of fear among individuals exposed to these situations, especially those who have experienced trauma in the past.
We usually say we have a hormone that's within our mind that's called that's produced by an organ called amygdala. So within that organ, the hormone that is produced can create three reactions. You can either flee, you can either freeze, or you can fight. So you will find as agencies out there, in the short term, out of hearing that bang, or even hearing that canister that has been drawn, fear will, in the short term, come in. Then with it also, there are a bit of anxiety, which can be brought about with either you'll see palpitation, one's heart beating, either someone, like now when we are saying you'll freeze, you'll find others probably even peeing on themselves, going a number one. So basically it is a place of saying, yes, there's a mental effect to the mandamanos that we are having. But it's up to us to be able to address these people and find out how far or how much have they been really affected.
Patient Mwema, a clinical psychologist, explains that people with post-traumatic stress disorder (PTSD) are most likely to be triggered by the sounds associated with tear gas.
You'll find someone has lost a friend. They went probably a brother and a sister from Mandamano, and they lost their sibling in that. They lost a friend who was probably on the forefront. So it will definitely affect them because there's that bit of being in denial. Yes, my friend had gone out to fight for that right that every one of us is really looking out for, that change that every one of us is looking out for. So basically it can bring in the stress in the long term, which again can affect one's sleep patterns. And it can also affect how probably sometimes you think, because you can even just go blank.
In addition to mental health concern, crowded gatherings during protest can expose participants to harmful air pollutant or irritants that may cause respiratory issues. This is especially true if tear gas or other crowd control measures are used by the law enforcement during the protest.
And what these chemicals do is when they get onto the surface, they interact with the cells of the body. There are certain parts of the cell we call receptors. Receptors are that part of the cell which makes a cell react in a particular way. So when these gases get in touch with that receptor, they trigger pain, and depending on the organ affected, different reactions can occur. For example, if it is a nerve cell which is touched, pain can result. If it is the eye, then you get pain in the eye and tearing. If it is the airway, you may find someone producing a lot of mucus. The airway may try to close up, or what we call bronchospasm. The airway goes into a spasm. People start coughing. They may have difficulty in breathing, wheezing, and even chest pain. So different parts of the body can be affected by these gases.
However, exposure to tear gas can cause serious breathing problems for individuals with some underlying health conditions.
If one has a condition like asthma and they're exposed to this gas frequently, we do know that they can get more difficult to control asthma. Some researchers have also said that there is a possibility the exposure to tear gas may cause increased tendency to get infections easily. For example, even simple old-fashioned influenza can attack a person who has recently been exposed to tear gas easier compared to that person who has not been exposed. Some papers actually on research have said that it is possible this could even, the exposure could even lead to cancers. But you see, if it is 1 or 2 cases which are reported, one may not put a stamp that it does cause cancer. But there is that fear that if there is repeated or long-term exposure, it may lead to some forms of cancer.
When exposed to tear gas, it is crucial to take immediate and effective precautions to minimize its effect, as the pulmonologist tells us.
The most important thing is, number one, move away from where that canister has exploded and there's a huge, thick cloud of the gas. Number two is getting rid of the powder or the gas from your skin. And how do we do that? Number one is removing the clothes which are contaminated if one can. I'm imagining someone running in town removing their clothes. That will be a bit difficult. But as soon as you can, please remove those clothes. Thoroughly wash your face, wash your body if the exposure is everywhere. And I have seen people using Colgate or other kind of toothpastes. Those may not really help. So just old-fashioned water and soap is important. Remember, if the clothes are exposed to the powder, they may remain contaminated for a long time. So sometimes just washing once may not be enough. You may need to wash several times to get rid of that powder from the clothes.
While protests play an important role in allowing people to voice their concerns about injustices, they also come with challenges that can impact both mental and physical health.
It is us to create that support system back even at home and just offer a listening ear and offer even as the government solutions to what we are saying, because where we sit as therapists, we feel it's a place of Gen Zs and even the nation at large being listened to so that we can be able to support them. So what I can say, it is something that we can really, really work on. It's not like it's something, yes, the short-term and the long-term effects that are quite psychological, they can be handled, and that is through therapy. And as I said, we have pro bono services that are being provided, and also we have now the support I am saying, like back at home. Can we be able to listen to these people and tell them, yes, we are hearing you. When it comes to the journalists like you, so when you come back to the workplace, have we been given probably a place of debrief? Because yes, you have gone to the field, you have seen that dead body, you have seen that young person being battered around and pulled up and down before you go tomorrow for work. Can we have a place where, as organization also, we are providing a safe place for the journalists, for the medics, so that they can be able to say, yes, yesterday we went and this is how we were able to handle the situation.
Dolly Mwirigi Mbuvi for Hope TV.